If you've been following my channel, you would know that a few weeks ago I posted a video about why I sold my SHIB coin. And now one of the main comments that I see on that video is, do I regret selling my SHIB? Today we're going to talk about exactly how I came to that decision, and as well, do I regret that decision at all? Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video. Today's video is a bit different. It's more of I want to have a conversation with you guys about my thought process and the reasons I sold my SHIB and whether or not I actually regret selling it. This is something that was a concerted decision to do, and if you saw my previous video, I gave a bunch of reasons as to why I was doing it at the time. Now, obviously, as you would have seen, and you can see on the screen right here, the price of SHIB hit all-time highs basically consistently every single day, past the point that I made that video. So as you can imagine, one of the main questions that a lot of viewers, you guys there, have been asking me is, do I regret selling my SHIB? Well, before we get into that, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video. And of course, if you want to see more of this sort of content, please hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing, and wealth management. And of course, I'd love to know, are you still a SHIB holder? Down in the comments section below. But without further ado, let's get into the meat of this conversation. First things first, I want to preface everything by saying, you guys know I really enjoy being part of the SHIB community. I think it is a fantastic coin, what it's done for the community when you look at places like the Indian COVID relief and the sort of things that many SHIB holders are doing with their profits to help out other people. I really think it is something that is absolutely fantastic, and I'm very fortunate to say I've had the pleasure of being involved with such a awesome community. So I just want to make it very, very clear, I'm a big supporter of the SHIB community. I myself as well invested, or I suppose bought, a parcel of SHIB on multiple occasions because I did believe that it was a coin that was going to, you know, rise, as we all are. At the end of the day, we are all in the crypto market for a profit, but I had to stick to my guns, stick to my strategy. And if I didn't do that and I didn't tell you guys exactly what I was doing, then I'm not being honest to myself, my own strategy, and of course I'm not being honest to you guys, the viewers. But what is the main question of this video? Is it that, do I actually regret selling SHIB? Of course I do. Of course I regret selling SHIB, because at the end of the day, I sold it at about 2,200 and I was up about, I don't know, 50% or so, and I made a good profit. I was very happy with it. But then, as you guys clearly would have seen, the price of SHIB just went absolutely crackers. It kept going through the roof. And for me, watching that, you know, you get those senses of fear of missing out, FOMO, that sort of thing, regret. Of course you regret it. You could have made, you know, so much more money. I could have made, God, what would it have been if we're looking at it, 6-7 times the amount of money that I made compared to what I did? Of course I'm going to regret it, but I need to stay true to my trading strategy, and there's a few reasons as to why that's the case. Now, something like SHIB, I made a concerted decision when I entered it into the coin that I was going to make sure that if we saw a large spike in volume and it went up quite quickly, it is a point at which I go, okay, I need to get out, take some profits, wait for it to cool down before considering getting back in. Now, obviously I took the profits, it cooled down for maybe half a day, and then it just kept going and I missed it. But one of the key things I've learned is, do not fall into that trap of FOMO. If you follow and get caught into all the hype or the FOMO, it doesn't matter if it's a stock, it doesn't matter if it's a crypto, more often than not, you will get burnt. Because what happens is, you enter into whatever it may be at a reasonable price, it goes up, you sell, drops slightly, then shoots up absolutely crazy, exactly what we've seen on SHIB. And what happens is, and what's happened to me previously, I've seen it happen to friends, I've seen it happen to many other investors, is they'll jump back in at the peak and then the stock, the crypto, whatever it is, drops. And all of a sudden, instead of being in a profit, they've lost all that money that they put in initially. And that can be an extremely demoralizing thing for an investor or for a trader or anyone, especially if you're new to this entire environment. It is a very ruthless space, and the issue with it is all your decisions must be based on, I suppose, an element of luck. Of course, you can do your research, and that is something I very heavily promote, but at the end of the day, you don't know exactly what is going to occur, so you need to put a strategy in place that allows you to consistently make profits and not be destroyed by a massive loss. Chasing based on FOMO is going to give you that. If you are a long-term viewer of this channel, you'll know that I lost over 100 grand on one of my stocks. It was one of the worst, but also most beneficial experiences in my investing career. And this only occurred a few years ago, but it taught me so much about investing, and I'm a lot better for it. I've completely recovered from that position, and I've applied the lessons that I've learned from that scenario to make sure that it never happens again. And it was all to do with FOMO, digging myself a bigger hole, getting in at the top after a stock had peaked. It then just kept dropping and dropping, and I kept putting more money in, kept buying the dip. You know, everyone always says, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. But then the issue is, it just keeps dipping. It doesn't actually recover. So for me, one of the key things that I learned was, if it does dip, I need to be very sure that if I'm buying more or I'm getting back in, that it's going to go back up. With SHIB, just purely given the sheer volatility of the crypto market, I did not know for sure. So as a result, I was not confident. It was too risky for me to jump back into the coin after I'd sold out, even though it had dropped back slightly, because I did not want to, you know, lose all the profits that I had just made. That was a conservative decision from my investing experience, which I've applied to the way that I invest and trade now, both in stocks and in crypto. And it's something that has saved me a lot of money. It's also something that has made me a lot of money as well. So just keep that in mind. With all things that, you know, there's a lot of hype surrounding it, and you'll see it on many subreddits and that sort of thing, such as Wall Street Bets. You'll see lots of people making an absolute killing when they get in early. I mean, if you put $1,000 into SHIB back on the 1st of January, I believe you could have made $5.7 billion if you just held, or January, August, something like that. But it was cheap. You would have made so much money. But that's if you're in early, and I can guarantee you, not many people would have the stomach to keep holding onto something, whether it be a stock, whether it be crypto, whether it be any other sort of investment, when they're making massive returns like that. You would sell out when you've hit, you know, I don't know, $10 million, even earlier, $1 million, $100,000, unless you had some, I suppose, true understanding or belief or whatever it may be that it's going to keep going up. With crypto, I really struggle with that, purely due to the fact that it is such a volatile market. I'd prefer to put my money long term into coins which I understand a bit more and I know have seen fantastic results over extended periods of time. Safe bets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, perfect examples there, probably the two main ones. Another one being Luna, Cardano's ADA coin, those sorts of things. Now that's not to say that SHIB doesn't have those benefits, but you see these other coins have a proven track record, so I'm a lot more comfortable holding these sort of coins during dips, even if I'm in a profit, than I do with SHIB, where you saw a massive influx of investors into the market. But Do I regret selling my SHIB? Yes, of course I do. I left so much money on the table, but the decision I made was the right decision based on my trading strategy, based on my experience in the past, ensuring that I do not get burnt. At the end of the day, I exited with a profit, and that is what everybody is here to do. Whether you're investing in SHIB, whether you're investing in Bitcoin, whatever it may be, the goal is to make money. And of course, that is what you should be focused on. The issue is you've got to separate your emotions from your actual investments and trading. And it's something that is extremely hard to do. It's something that I've personally struggled with a lot when I first got into investing and trading. And that was for years, taking the emotion out of these situations. It's very easy to get caught up in a stock, in a company, in a crypto, whatever it may be, and you start making irrational decisions. And one of the biggest things that I say is do not be greedy. Make sure that if you've got an exit point and it hits it, that's when you take your money out. Or even better, once it hits that point, put a trailing stop loss in place so that yes, you can take advantage of increasing gains, but also at the same time, you aren't going to lose out on the profits that you've already made. So just keep those few things in mind. Especially now looking at SHIB, there is a lot of focus on it in the media from retail investors and just everywhere right now. A lot of money is flowing into the coin. You see much of the other market such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Luna, Cardano, XRP, you name it, it is dropping today. But SHIB has been the one that is consistently going up. Now, what we have seen today is some big profit taking as well. And you can see on the chart just here that there has been a dip. It looks like it is bouncing, and I hope for all SHIB holders that it is, because I want you guys to keep smashing it and keep making money. But don't be greedy. Make sure that you do not lose those profits. Make sure the risks you are taking, A, you can afford to lose that money if you don't want to take any of it off the table, and B, you're comfortable in your investment regardless of the outcome. So just keep those things in mind. A great strategy to often use is when you invest, let's say $1,000 into something, then it doubles in price and it goes to $2,000. Take out that $1,000 initial capital. And what that means is you're effectively playing with your profits. That's all that is there. You're not losing any of your hard-earned cash that has been, from your full-time job or your part-time job, whatever it may be. Your capital has been taken out. It is safe. Now the money that's sitting on there, it doesn't matter where it goes. At the end of the day, yes, obviously you want to keep those profits, but you've not got your initial amount of capital at risk. That is a fantastic strategy to adopt, particularly if you're up on whether it be a stock or crypto significantly, especially when you're talking multiples like 5 times, 10 times. Just take that initial capital out, or even just take half of it out. Then you've taken out some of the profits, or all of your capital, and you've got some of the profits just sitting there. Just be careful. That is one of the main things. And unfortunately for a lot of investors and traders, the only way to learn is by getting burnt. It's all well and good if you start your investing career in a bull market. But as soon as the bull market turns, or whatever you're in, turns and you lose money, that is when you learn the true lessons. The real skill of being an investor or a trader is not to make money in a bull market. Anyone can make money in a bull market. You need to be able to make money in a bear market. That really shows the skill and the ability of an investor or a trader, being able to A, conserve their profits, and B, keep making them on a consistent basis. So yes, obviously, as I said, I regret my sale, but I did it for the right reasons and I'm comfortable in myself. I didn't fall into the trap of FOMO. Whilst yes, in this situation, it would have made me a bit of money, it was not the right decision from an investment perspective. That wraps up today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and I'd love to know your thoughts on this whole SHIB situation down in the comments below. You guys have done fantastic if you are still holding the coin and have made an absolute killing, I bet. Good on you guys, and I am very, very proud of you. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video, remember to leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing, and wealth management. But I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.